And we're in the midst of our of Piku Day, which is the final Torah portion in the book of Exodus. And it's the last time we're going to talk about this for this week. And we've really been talking a lot about this cloud that comes over the tabernacle and the fire comes over the tabernacle by night so it can be seen. And that is the cue for the Israelites to get moving. And one of the days this week I talked about the idea that the cloud by day and the fire by night, Yomam and Laila, meant the two aspects of ourselves that are is mercy and is judgment. But, you know, the significance of the cloud, hello sis, good evening. The significance of fire is as a sign to the Israelites. So, hello Kathy. When the Israelites have the cloud and the fire over the tabernacle, they don't move. They stay where they are. That God's in their presence, probably protecting them in their minds, and that if God doesn't want them to move, they're not going to move. When that cloud or fire lifts up over the tabernacle, it's moving away. That's the cue for the Israelites to go, to leave. So it serves really as a symbol of when they stay and when they go. And it got me to think about life and what signals do I need? What signal do you need to do something? Hello, Valerie. Do you need to, does there have to be a sign to get you to kind of act upon something that you've been planning on doing? You know, another time we talked about this idea that first you plan and then you act, right? So there's the plan of what you're going to do and then there's the action, but you could have that plan in place. But is there something that you need as a catalyst to help you get there? And, you know, I'm not the kind of person that looks for signs. You know, I have to make a decision, and when I walk into this place, if this happens, it's kind of like what we did with Isaac, right? The servant is like, if this happens, then I'm going to definitely do natural phenomenon that occurs around me. But is there something that leads me towards action? And I was thinking that perhaps I use people that way, right? You go to a friend or a spouse or a child or a parent, and you describe to them what you'd like to do, and then you get the advice. And there's certain people go around to a lot of different people and ask advice. And maybe the sign, the cloud and the fire of today is the thing that fires up your belly. You know, someone says something and you're like, yes, that's the way to do this. We actually need, hello Kathleen and hello Irene. That's nice that you came out together so that I could alliterate that and have some poetry. But, you know, maybe it's that we look for inspiration from friends when we want to think about whether we would act or not. Perhaps it's something inside of yourself that you need to feel a certain kind of energy that will allow you to act or not. Curious about times where we have to do something, go somewhere, make a decision. And a lot of this, I think, for some reason for me is coming up on kind of how we make decisions, and do we look for signs, you know, when to move on in our lives, or when to continue on our journey, but maybe waiting or not waiting. You know, all of these things, this is like what the Israelites feels like is happening to them. And if I look at it, you know, as an allegory of life, then that's what it becomes, right? There are these moments when you can not sure I have the answer for that because I feel like everyone's a little bit different. But the one thing I do know, or feel in my bones, is that I have to feel it in my bones. It has to be something that once that decision is made, I feel it. Could come from someone telling me something, could come from something happening that just creates a light bulb that goes off for me. But I think what's most important about all of this is that we reflect upon what the possibilities are on this next part of our journey, and take small steps at least to move in the direction that we need to move in. We don't have to, go all at one time. And maybe I'll take the allegory a little further, that even when the Israelites, and we'll get to this at another Torah portion, we may or may not talk about it, even though the Israelites use the they see as the cloud lifting or the fire lifting and then have to move as a camp, it really isn't until they hear the horn sound, they hear the ready, but that comes from kind of above, right? Maybe we could part of it. Then when you have to go, it could be that you lost your job, and so that has nothing to do with you. Just like that cloud has nothing to do with you. Or that something happened and made you uncomfortable at work, or you feel like the occupation you're doing isn't sitting with you anymore, and that's like a sign to you that you've got to do something else. But what is going to be the trumpets that sound where you're like, these to me are some of the hardest questions that we can ever ask ourselves, because change is always difficult. Moving on the journey to another place is difficult. And if I'm anything, I am a creature of habit. So, for instance, being in this space doing this meditation, I mean, I've done it in my office a couple of times, but the thought of doing it in a different space, I want to stay in the journey right here. So sometimes for me, it's difficult to say, okay, it's time to move. It's time to go. But for each of us, I would reiterate, that sign to signal yourself is going to be different for each of us because we have different motivations and different things that excite us. But whatever it is that moment happens where the sign comes that we see, to see it and understand it and decide, okay, it's ready to go because of the cloud and the fire is one thing. And then to actually go and motivate yourself to the action is another. And so I'm hoping that in the time that we have and the time that you can take sitting with your breath is a time that you can find some kind of clarity as we come out of this. What are the kind of important things that you need to think about, whether you that would bring you to actually do it? And for everyone, it's different, obviously, but it's the reflection that's important, and the noticing how each opportunity that might come your way, how it makes you feel, and to think about, wow, why am I feeling that, and is that something I really want to feel? A lot to think about for today. Let's go to our breathing to get yourself into a comfortable position. We're just allowing everything to be just as it is for now. Even if we have a sign that tells us we need to move on that journey, for right now, let's just sit in our place. The journey can wait 20 minutes. And then as we come out, concentrating on our breath, bring ourselves to just being and not doing, allowing everything to be just as it is without getting agitated by it, that hopefully when we come out of this, that we'll have more peace and silence for ourselves. breath. Feel it come in and go out, how your body expands and contracts. Take in everything around you. Does your body feel warm or cool? You're comfortable? Is your body tight anywhere? Then bring yourself to your breath. yourself back to your breath, how it feels. As we head into our last several minutes together, I'd like to end with one of the three sections of the priestly benediction. It's our the third three, since it's Thursday. And we ask, may I feel joy, and may I feel whole. To bring us into Shabbat, to have a feeling of joy and gladness, and to recognize who. Part of that is recognizing that we are whole. One aspect of our personality. So often, I can't concentrate on my meditation, so my whole being is bad. There is that tendency to take one aspect of who we are, to put it upon all. May you feel whole, that you're more than just an ailment or a mistake. May you feel whole. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. And with each breath, offer yourself, either out loud or whispered or just to yourself, may I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. If you'd like to invite someone to just be in front of you and you can offer them these two feelings, you can just put this person in your mind's eye, right in front of you. Could be someone you know, could be someone you're having issues with, could be someone that's just an acquaintance, and offer these two feelings. May you feel joy. May you feel whole. May you feel whole. May you feel joy. May you feel whole. May you feel whole. Just a couple more breaths there. May you feel joy. May you feel whole. May you feel joy. May you feel whole. And just bring it back to yourself for a couple of breaths. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. And may I feel whole. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you were able to find some peace and stillness. May you feel joy, and may you feel whole, and may you have a beautiful Shabbat.